Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. And as advertised, it is now time for our elimination match between Magus and Bruce Lee. Both of these men in a submission match looking to stay alive here in CIW. This is a submission match, which means the first person to give up. No pinfalls, no disqualifications, no countouts. First person to say, I give up, I'm a quitter, I suck, I'm going to gut check. That's the person that loses and is eliminated from the roster so far. Now remember, you can always work your way back up, and I'm hoping to have a point system when gut check is finished and when gut check actually launches, where the person who's the highest up on gut check is actually the one who gets brought up to the main roster. But I still need to create like half of them. I've been pretty bad at keeping track of all of that, only because I've been really focused. I've been getting new games. I've been trying to beat all these games. I got a bunch of consoles. I have probably 6 game consoles, and what I've been trying to do is I've been trying to beat all the games I have for them, which is like 60. And anyway, here comes Magus.
Following contest is a submission match. On the way to the ring, from parts unknown, the Vampire.
I have to say that Magus is probably one of the least liked characters, one of the least over characters in CIW. No one really cares for him. It's unfortunate. I mean, I thought Magus was pretty badass in Chrono Trigger, which, if you have not played that game, go drop everything, go get an emulator or Virtual Console. If you have a Wii, go on Virtual Console and go buy Chrono Trigger and play it. It is my favorite RPG of all time. It is better than the Final Fantasies, all of them, better than all of the Final Fantasies, in my opinion. Of course, I'm not going to discredit anyone else who has a varying opinion, because everyone is entitled to their own. However, I find that Magus was pretty badass in that game, but I think the Chrono Trigger, it's my favorite game. It's long. It is a time-consuming game. A speed run would probably take 15 hours to do. So unless you're planning on waking up at like 6 a.m. and playing until like 11 o'clock at night, and you get everything, and you don't get anything, you don't grind, you don't train anybody, then you could get it done in 15 hours. But even that's a stretch. Here comes Bruce Lee.
And the opponent from Canada, the Bruiser.
I think it might be Bruce Lee's Canadian roots that make my accent so terrible. But they also, maybe it's because he's been residing in Canada that he's lost a little bit of his spark since the Game of Death. And that's nothing against Canada. I'm not against Canada, but they're very peaceful people. You know, they don't really get too angry and rambunctious, if you will. You know, they're very peaceful. They like everybody getting along, and they have free health care and all the maple syrup you want. And so maybe that's why Bruce Lee you haven't seen that intensity out of Bruce Lee that you would normally in his movies or in Game of Death, certainly. So maybe that's what it is. But Bruce Lee's more of a martial artist. He's not really one for he's never seemed to me like he's been one to be a submission specialist. I don't really see him doing a lot of grappling, but who knows? He's got to have one submission in his arsenal, one somewhere. He's got to have at least a submission. Same with Magus, I mean, and so this is going to be an interesting matchup, I think. And one of these men, they are fighting for their job. This is a career-threatening match for both of them. So they better step it up. You know, step up to the plate and really impress me here. And I mean, it's you win, you're in. You lose, you're out. I mean, it's that simple. Very straightforward. We're here in Waxahachie, Texas, home of Trevor Murdoch, if you remember who he is. And a hard knife-edge chop to start this off. And Bruce Lee going right to those strikes, just like I said he would. And Bruce Lee now getting reversed by Magus not once but twice. And just a thrust kick to the skull there from Bruce Lee, and now a dragon screw. And Bruce Lee trying to wear Magus down early in the early going of this matchup. And now, went for a clothesline, and look at that. man, just a hard right hand, shades of the Rock there by Magus. And Magus now with a collar and elbow tie up to, and now, oh, a thumb to the eye. And a Russian leg sweep. Very technical start by Magus and some hard kicks and an elbow. Referee Kevin James assigned to this contest. The reason being is I assume that you guys want to see the action going on here instead of what everybody else does, i.e. Lucas, and stand right in front of where you want to be, where he takes more of a reserved route. I'm thinking now a headlock. Is a headlock going to do it? Is Magus going to tap this earlier? Remember, this is a submission match. You have to make your opponent tap out in order for them to submit. Oh, what a low blow. And again, no disqualifications here. Actually, there are disqualifications, but only weapon disqualifications. So that means that there's... And Bruce Lee completely missing in whatever it was he was doing. Snapmare, and now wrenching the head again is Bruce Lee. And now Bruce Lee now showing the fire, showing an aggression that you don't normally say, oh, look at this. And now just using, though, Kevin James, get out of the way. But using that rope, using the ring rope to choke Magus, the referee not counting at all, and Bruce Lee just vicious there, choking the life out of Magus. And this is what happens when you're fighting for your job. You cannot cut corners. And now, oh, a knee to the gut by Magus, 2 knees. And now another collar and elbow tie-up, and looks like a Hoovy driver? Oh, and a brainbuster. Almost a Hoovy driver, not quite, but it looked like it. Now a crossface. A crossface. Is Bruce Lee going to tap out now? Bruce Lee in trouble. Is he going to tap? But I like the glitch how he's not really holding Bruce Lee's head. He's just kind of in between the forearms. And Magus now trying to get an opening here, trying to make a bit of a comeback. And went for a shot again and was not anywhere in the vicinity. Every time Bruce Lee's tried to run, it has been unsuccessful. Bruce Lee at the top now and just swatted down by Magus. And damn, that was a painful risk. That was very high risk, very early going in this matchup. And a knife edge chop there by Magus, and a low kick, and a knife edge chop right back to him. And now, looks like a knee to the back. A hard knee to the back, and Magus quickly escapes. And now, looks like a jawbreaker, or similar to a jawbreaker, not exactly what he's doing, and an elbow to the back of the head by Magus. 2 of them. And Magus has been striking too. And the thing is, you know, we don't allow the magic that Magus would normally have. And we don't allow weapons like nunchucks or anything like that for Bruce Lee. But Magus, normally he could just use like dark matter and just kick the shit out of him. But again, this is CIW. We're trying to make it fair. And you know what I hated about Magus though? The one thing that pissed me off about him in the game, oh, sweeping DDT. And oh, Bruce Lee in trouble here. And Magus now looks like he's going to go for some sort of now a knee to the back. A knee to the back. Is Bruce Lee going to tap out now? Bruce Lee trying to fight with everything he's got. It could be over here. What I hated about Magus in the game, though, in Chrono Trigger, I mean, is that he went through this whole time just trying to summon Lavos, who is like the main... I can't even... If you've never played the game, you just got to play the game, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to accurately describe this to you. And now what's Magus, or Bruce Lee doing here? Oh! And looks like kind of an inverted STF here. And Bruce Lee just flipping that with the leg trapped and the head trapped. And Bruce Lee now trying as best he can. Bruce Lee looks like he's... Oh my God! What a clothesline by Magus. And now, oh, look at this. Just thumb to the eye. Now a DDT, a vicious DDT. And Magus... And both of these guys aggressively fighting for their jobs here. And now Bruce Lee swinging a vicious throw to Magus, who's fighting with all he's got. Standing moonsault there by Bruce Lee. But Magus, he's like all of a sudden, he's out there combating a frog. And then, oh, nice, another standing moonsault attempt there. And now it looks like Bruce Lee looked like he was going to go for some other maneuver, but off the mark there, it seemed as though. And now bringing him to the inside, and now close fist punches raining down. Holy crap, getting all 10 of them in rapid fire succession. And now looks like he's going to do another headlock maybe. Yes, he is. And is this going to do it? and he got a rope break. And now look at this, now holding on to it. He can't get a submission this way, but he is holding on as much as he possibly can, which you have to say is a smart maneuver on the part of Bruce Lee. But he spends the whole first half of the game trying to summon Lavos, fighting off the main characters, and all of a sudden in the middle of the game, and just hit Kevin James, did Magus, and now sweeping underneath, and now is, I guess there's no ring outs in this game, as far as, submission matches go, and now thumb to the eye by Magus, who is fighting, both of these guys fighting aggressively, and now Magus, and now one sweeping kick, blocked the other one, and a snapmare. And every chance that Bruce Lee's had, Magus has successfully countered. And now look at this, it's going to be the Dark Matter. Damn! Shot after shot to the head, but the one thing I've noticed about Magus is he has yet to go for a real long-lasting submission. And that may come to haunt him down the road. And now looks like this is going to be a Fujiwara armbar. And excuse my Japanese phrasing, but I mean, he is Bruce Lee. I don't even know if he's Japanese, but whatever. Chinese, Japanese, somethingese. Look at these. Anyway, that's not true. I'm not Asian racist. I don't know. I'll look it up, but I will not this right now because I'm in the middle of this elimination match, and that's what matters right now. And now Bruce Lee gonna try and win with that headlock. Third time he's got it applied. Maybe this will do it here if he's got enough of it. No. And I thought Magus might tap out there, but no such luck. And another low blow. Both of these guys. But anyway, back to my point. And another knife edge chop, tapping the well 1,000 times is this, and now it looks like he's going to go for an armbar. Going for a vicious armbar is Bruce Lee, but Magus spends half the game fighting against the main characters. All of a sudden, it turns out that Magus isn't the guy to blame after all. After being a douchebag to everybody, going for that armbar again, and then he's just like, let me help you. And then he suddenly becomes a good person. I'm sorry, I'm calling bullshit on that. And he's also a cheap-ass character. I try to avoid using him because he's so fucking good. He has every fucking good magic move in that whole game. And then it's just, you can win the game Bulldog by Magus. You can win the game, like beat the final boss and the subsequent final boss using Magus alone. That's how good he is. Which is great, except he's a lone wolf, first of all. Meaning he doesn't have any double team maneuvers with anybody. And then, on top of that, he's got the most powerful fucking moves on the face of the fucking planet. It's like, why even bother? That's like eliminating the whole point of that game. And now, Bruce Lee trying everything he's got to make this, now using that leg submission, and now trying as best he can. He's using every submission he's got in the book here to make Magus tap out, and just nothing doing on any of them. And now using that leg wrench again, trying to get Magus to tap out. He's worked on his whole body, and Magus refusing to quit. And you have to hand it to Magus. It's impressive. It's impressive that these two have been able to last this long, both fighting for their jobs here. And now it looks like a backdrop. Take a drink. Backdrop's the common theme of this game, apparently. And Magus now trying as best he can to just survive here. Now knife edge chop, and went for a side kick, and instead got countered by Magus when he went for the second time around, and went for a toe kick off the mark. And Magus now looks like he's going to go for DDT. Another DDT. Oh, nice kip up there. Impressive nip up by Magus. That was very impressive. That was not what I was expecting. And now another Dark Matter. And how is Bruce Lee even alive? Bruce Lee, and I have to hand it to Bruce Lee. He's been putting on a hell of a show. And now, and there's that game of death, that super kick he calls the game of death. And Magus just no-selling the shit out of that. Went for a running knee, went for 2 running knees, 3 running knees, and missed all 3 of them. 4 running knees, missed 4 running knees. Jesus Christ, Bruce Lee, get your shit together. 5 running knees, 6 running knees, 7 running knees. Bruce Lee, are you fucking blind? Holy shit. Good God. And Magus was just standing there while Bruce Lee was just flagellating Not flagellating, a third dark matter. And again, Bruce Lee no-sells the shit out of that. Boy, these two will not say die right now. And I have to say, it's pretty impressive. Bulldog, again by Magus. Magus needs to make some sort of attempt here at a submission, which he has yet to do, I believe. And now Magus going to get a hammerlock. Hammerlocked. Oops, sorry guys, I keep doing that. I keep kneeing the thing that I use. And finally gonna hit the knee. Somewhat hit it again. And tooth punches to the back. And a counter by Magus. These guys, what a match by these two guys. And now Magus going, oh my god. That is Dark Matter number 4. Number 4. And now with that headlock, and is he going to get it? Is this going to happen this time? Bruce Lee might have him this time. Is this going to do it? Yes! Bruce Lee makes Magus tap out after an amazing battle. And you know what? I got to hand it to the two of them. To both of them. That was a tremendous effort by Magus. And I'm going to miss having him around just because of that. That was a great match. Bruce Lee survives. Magus, unfortunately, I have to say, in my best McMahon impression, you're fired from CIW. You're not fired completely. We don't fire people completely. We don't have enough money to fire people completely. So I'm running out of puns. So I decided to bring back the Al Snow tweet of the day. And I found this one, and I really like this one. What would happen if you poured self-raising flour on an orphan? I don't know. But those are the types of questions that need to be asked if we're to progress as a society. My name is The Colonist. Bruce Lee survives. Magus is eliminated, and we'll see you next time.